G'day, I'm Andrew Marshall with the Northern Australia Climate Program at the University of Southern Queensland, and this is a short summary of the Bureau of Meteorology's climate outlook for Queensland for the weeks and months ahead, issued in the week leading up to the 26th of November 2024. We'll take a look at the rainfall outlooks to begin with, starting with these outlook scenarios, and these are the rainfall totals that have a 75% chance of occurring for your region. Looking ahead to the 3 months from December to February, we're seeing a 75% chance of around 50 millimetres or more for large parts of southwestern Queensland and around 100 to 300 millimetres for central regions, increasing to around 400 millimetres for parts of the far east and more than 600 millimetres for the far north. And remember, you can use this magnifying glass feature here to drill a little deeper into the forecast, specifying your location of interest, to break the forecast down into the chance of different rainfall amounts occurring. And this will give you an idea of how conditions are likely to be compared to the historical median. You can ask your local climate mate to go through this with you in more detail. Now, taking a quick look at the Bureau's northern rainfall totals since the 1st of September, and the large areas in green indicate where more than 50 millimetres of rain has fallen, and this is considered to be about the amount of rainfall required to stimulate plant growth. Now let's look at temperatures. The differences from average for maximum temperature here show cooler conditions across most of the state for the 2 weeks from the 30th of November to the 13th of December. And here the average is calculated over the 1981 to 2018 period for this time of year. For minimum temperature, we are looking at warmer than average conditions over the next 2 weeks. And looking at the chance of extremes map for the 3 months from December to February, we're seeing an elevated chance of unusually warm days across large parts of the state, as shown here, and an elevated chance of unusually warm nights across Queensland. By unusually warm, we mean the highest 20% of historical temperature records for this time of year, based on the 1981 to 2018 period. Now, remember that these long-range forecasts for Australian rainfall and temperature provide the best guidance for local climate, so that is our focus here. These forecasts consider all ocean and atmosphere conditions that affect seasonal weather and climate. But if you are interested in some of the climate indicators that can influence these forecasts, we'll have a quick look at these now. The El Niño Southern Oscillation is currently neutral with the Bureau's model and most international climate models suggesting that we're likely to remain in this neutral range in the coming months. The Indian Ocean Dipole, or the IOD, is also neutral and likely to remain so in the next few months. A moderate to strong pulse of the Madden-Julian Oscillation, or the MJO, has been located over the Indian Ocean recently and is forecast to move eastwards over the maritime continent to the north of Australia in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And finally, the Southern Annular Mode, or the SAM, is forecast to become positive in the next week. Now, turning to the pasture growth outlook from long paddock for the 3 months from November to January, we're expecting to see pasture growth across most northern regions, as shown here, in response to the expected rainfall in the months ahead. And finally, let's take a look at the Cattle Comfort Index prototype forecasts from the Northern Australia Climate Program at nacp.org.au. And these forecasts go out to about 10 days ahead and are shown at 3 hourly intervals here, which you can move through using these controls at the bottom of the map. Index values between 30 and 35 degrees represent moderate stress to cattle. Values between 35 and 40 degrees represent severe stress, and values above 40 degrees are considered extreme. And we are expecting varying heat stress conditions at times over parts of Northern Australia, with some severe and extreme conditions to be aware of in the days ahead. As always, for more information and updates, visit the Bureau's climate pages at bom.gov.au/climate. If you have any questions about recent conditions or the use of weather and climate forecasts, please reach out to your local climate mate. And you can read more about the Northern Australia Climate Program at nacp.org.au. See you next time.